This is Parashat Behar, Bechukotai. This is our parashut that we learned right before Shavuot. It's interesting. Parashat Behar talks about Shemitah. In other words, 6 years you plant, 7th year you have to rest your land. Now, in the midst of Parashat Shemitah brings about the emunah of Behar Israel. People have to have emunah that somebody is working in his field, and that's the way to feed his family. Has to stop not to do anything. It's not one decision. It's a decision of daily basis. Every day he comes and looks at the field, and he will tell himself what's going to happen to me, what's going to happen. And in the midst of talking about Shemitah, Torah says another law that a person should not do. Torah says that you should not defraud his brother in monetary things. In monetary, when you deal with your friends, when you buy, sell, when you do any monetary transaction, be careful not to cheating in money. And then Torah says, you should not cause pain for somebody else, even verbally. You should not make another person to suffer, no matter what you do, with your word, with your action, with anything that you do to make somebody else suffer. Now, the Gemara, the Mishnah says, what's the example of that? The example of that is that somebody, that somebody, a rabbi or rabbi doesn't know something, you can't ask him to make him feel bad. You see, Baal Teshuvah is talking and saying the great Torah, and talking about the greatness of Torah, you tell him, wow, what are you? 4 years ago, you used to eat not kosher food. Now, what happened to you? All of a sudden, came like that. You see a sick person on the bed, and you tell him that, you deserve it. You did a lot of averot. Or somebody was looking to buy something, you sell him, you send him someplace that they don't sell that thing. And he goes there, and he says, I was joking. Or you go to store, you are not intending to buy anything, and you give headache to the owner of a store, and you don't buy anything. All of these things, the person is overloved in Torah. Torah says, don't cause pain for somebody else. That's like Torah says, don't eat chazir, don't eat pig. It's also the love, the command not to do. Torah also says, be very careful. Now, Shulchan Aruch usually doesn't talk about Mussar, discipline. It talks about regulation of halacha. It commands what to do, what not to do. Goes out of its way and talks about there is this love for your wife also. Wife to husband, or husband to wife. Whenever that we talk to each other, we have to be careful not to cause pain for another person. And that would change the scene of the family. If everybody would try very hard not to say any word, not to act, not to say anything, that would cause pain for the other person, the community becomes a different community. That's why this love, lotonu, is very important and it's very crucial. Because with words, person makes people. Like Navi says, Navi says that lashon, the tongue, don't look at this tongue. It's chetz shachut. It's an arrow that kills, destroys. The word could kill and destroy people. Now, there's an interesting mashal. There was a counselor in the camp that, she was working with a group of girls, young girls, and she was a counselor. Now, some of them was her favorite, and she loved them. Some of them she disliked. Now, when it came to painting, whatever nice crayons and nice paint that she had, she gave it to the friends, those that she was her favorite, and she liked them. And those that didn't like gave the crayon that is not so nice, dull. The paint would not come out so good. Therefore, when they were trying to make image or paint something, those that they favored and gave her the best color and paint, sharp color and paint, they came out very good and very nice. The other ones was dull and didn't look so good. And that made impact on these girls the way that the project came about. That's the story of our life. When we talk to somebody else, we are helping him to paint his own image, especially our children. When we give them nice paint with our words, with encouraging word of elevation, word of you worth something, word that builds them up, then they're gonna have a colorful image of themselves. Then they are strong. Then they have self-esteem. Then in this jungle of life, they will not be lost. They find themselves. They know the worth of themselves. But if any time that we're communicating with them, any time that we're confronting them, we give them pain that they're dull. We give them pain that they're weak. We give them terrible pain. Then the image becomes terrible. That true image would not come about. And when a person has a wrong self-image, doesn't have that true image that should have in life, is paralyzed. What could he do? He cannot move in life. He cannot do anything. And he's paralyzed. No. A baby is born paralyzed. We do a few operations on that. Physics, thanks to technology, thanks to medicine. And he could walk, he could do everything. But the parents, with their word, they could put a permanent damage on a child that this child cannot get back. No operation would help. Nothing would help because the image is broken. The self-esteem is gone. This is what Torah is talking about. The tongue. Torah is saying the tongue is shachut, is the arrow that kills, destroys. And it's terrible. Do you know why? Because we don't see the blood. We don't feel it. We don't understand it. If you take a knife and kill somebody, you see the blood. You stop. Here, you don't see the blood. Not only you don't see the blood. Tell parents, why do you talk like that? Positive criticism. If I don't criticize my children, who is going to do it? If I don't do chinuch to my children, who is going to do it? I have a news for you. Chinuch is not screaming at your child or putting him down and telling him harsh words. Chinuch is, like Rambam says, machziro lemotav, to return him back to the right road, to put him in the road of life. We have to implement, we have to use techniques and things that works, not things that put him astray, take him back. Therefore, what we accomplished with that? There's no accomplishment. Not only there is no accomplishment, we're going to lose them. Therefore, this love Lotonu is very crucial. We have to learn and educate ourselves. And with the learning and educating ourselves, we could make a much better person out of ourselves, better husband, better father, and better member of the society, because the Geulah come as soon as possible.